Activate.
Wow, Activate, and that's the guy. That's a big change, yeah.
This, I'm sure you're familiar
Tom,
with
how are you? It's good to see you. You're Tom from Fit It. Activate. As we're still well fit still. We're still there. But you were last night assisting the Newry Chamber of Commerce and Trade in their exploration of business success and how to go forward.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that all about? Tell me.
The event was titled Fit for Business.
Yep.
And the idea being that everybody's getting into their new year. A lot of business people are looking at their businesses and putting their annual plans together and all that kind of thing. And the concept was basically, well, what can the Chamber do to help people on their health and well-being side, which most people understand now is in my view, probably the most important thing for business people.
It's not traditionally the thing we associate with chambers of commerce.
No, well,
so are they pushing the boat out? Are they
they are. And,
going a bit further?
I joined the chamber committee this year, and I must say it's been a very pleasant experience all round. As someone who's not native to Newry, but I've lived here 10 years, everyone involved's been very welcoming. I'd be somebody that would be a bit of a change agent naturally, and there's some things we're working on to try and make things better and more effective. And all.
So who had you at the meeting last night, at the gathering? I suppose gathering is better than
gathering,
meeting.
Yeah, doing meetings.
No.
But in terms of different organisations that were present, we had, obviously it was at our venue. We had...
Your venue. Tell the people.
Well-Fit Cafe.
Down at down beside the cadavers.
Are we going to sing today?
Well, why wouldn't we? We're down beside the roundabout, next door to the old graveyard.
Yes, at the Well-Fit
Cafe, down at the point.
It actually narrowly missed being a radio jingle.
Wow. The Well-Fit Cafe.
Yeah, we had Curves, who are a gym aimed ladies here in Newry. CrossFit, another gym. It's a functional training gym in Greenbank, which is a relatively new business, but very good customers of WellFit, I must say, and good mates. We had Flex Sports, which are supply a product for support.
Oh yeah, the knee job. I saw that man was in talking to me here.
Lovely people.
Yeah.
We had Harvest Health.
Yeah.
Miriam, I believe, has been with you.
Miriam's been in Harvest Health. Yeah, that's down beside the zip yard there.
Yes.
Yeah, she keeps my prostate right with my pumpkin seed oil.
All right.
She's good. It's
I
good
had
stuff.
all kinds of images when you were talking.
No.
And then we had Health Matters. Mary Doran of Health Matters. We did some blood pressure and cholesterol checks for everyone present. Most people were pleasantly surprised.
What's your cholesterol?
I didn't do mine because I get mine on an annual MOT.
What was your last one?
I can't remember, but I'm good.
But is that good cholesterol or bad good cholesterol?
I'm very knowledgeable there, Rowan. There is a good and a bad cholesterol, but I'm at a good point.
Yeah.
So I think they're the organisations that took part, and then we had, in terms of people that were just attending, we had a contingent from the Funhouse, so 4 from the Funhouse, and always...
You were surrounded by your friends, really.
Yeah.
There are people who come to you and you know...
And we had a lot of our regulars there, Michael McKeown, Crash Services, Michael and his wife, Jerome
Mullen,
was there.
The honorary Polish ambassador or consul.
So we had a couple of training organisations attend in terms of helping businesses train their people better. So overall, it was really good fun night. It was a bit of a gathering.
Yeah, and fun is fun. But what was in it for you? Because you're a businessman at the end of the day.
I'm a businessman, but this is just to raise the profile of our business and what we do.
Of your business,
That was where we see it.
Which is a lovely answer, because people say, oh no, I'm here for the community, I'm doing this. But if you're not a good businessman, you can go and fly away. Nobody wants to know you.
Well, you're not going to be here for the community
you're not.
if you don't look at it from a business perspective.
So that's important. You were there to highlight your own business, and also in so doing to bring the rising tide lifting all boats. Everyone was with you
So we put a hot buffet on for everyone present.
Lovely.
Which is also a test of something we're trying out at the beginning of February. a new concept in terms of getting people in and out of the restaurant quickly at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Because
do they do that voluntarily or involuntarily?
Get in and out quickly. It's actually, I would say, it was a problem we had in our first months.
Was it people sitting on too long?
Well, a few things. Taking too long to get the order, to make the order. Our food's all freshly cooked, so there's a time in there, and then to get paid and get out. And I think people with only a lunch hour to spare. I want to make it a non-stressful experience.
So, but you were noticing stress in those areas at the beginning.
That would, like, I'm very proud of, like to listen to my customers.
And you were doing that. That's the thing, because you were observing, you were seeing what was going on, you were listening, and you acted and you changed it.
Yeah, that's what we haven't actually changed it fully yet. We're another subject I wanted to talk to you about. We're changing the name of the business.
Why is that?
Well, I've got ambitions for the business to be a multi-outlet business and build a brand.
You told me this before.
Yeah. So we registered WellFit Cafe as a trademark back in March. That's a 6-month process. And 2 weeks from the end of that process, we had an objection from some German friends who own the right to WellFit as a single word. Now, I could choose to fight that and probably win, but there's a lot of costs and there's a lot of risks associated to it. So we're changing the name to Active Eat at the end of the month. Active Eat.
Activeat.
That's it.
Active Eat. Active Eat. Active Eat.
It's really still...
Active Eat. It's got a ring to it.
It captures what
we're it does,
about,
surely. It does, surely.
Basically, we want to help people eat well and be active. There you go. Active Eat.
You were that fellow. You were that fellow, that good man who's been in with me sometimes. John
Hughes.
John Hughes.
Oh, our poster boy.
He's your poster boy.
He is.
Keep his clothes on him, for God's sake. He was very fat, and then you brought him on.
John's,
what did he do?
The blog this week, which will be publishing on Sunday because he publishes a week in arrears, 6 stone gone for John.
6 stone gone. And we saw him when he had the 6 stone in here.
Yeah, it's remarkable, the change. And John's looking for another 5 odd this year.
5 off. Yeah. Another 5 stone. He's he'll be down to what, 12?
Well, he's never revealed to us what his starting weight was, and frankly, I'm not bothered.
No.
But in terms of helping John change his lifestyle, and that's what John will always tell you, he's changed his lifestyle. So he's eating properly and he's being active. He's exercising at More Fitness. He's in there 3 or 4 times a week, and anyone that knows the man, it's visible in how he appears.
Yes.
And it's visible in his whole demeanour.
The demeanour, he's a wonderful fellow. He's full of crack and he's full of fun, and he's full of energy, which is important.
And one of the things that I'm very happy about coming into this industry is I'm an engineer by profession. It's just so positive. The amount of people that you meet that have taken positive change to make something different in their life. And that resonates with me.
You see, that positive change is huge because the alternative is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of us, we're on a one-track road to doom, if you like, because we're bucket rubbish into us.
Yeah.
We're not training. We're doing nothing.
It's really about taking responsibility for yourself. The whole thing. That sounds very high concept, but it's a simple thing. It's so easy. And everyone's guilty of it, including me, to make so many excuses why I can't eat healthily, I can't exercise, I can't do this, I can't do that. But certainly just in terms of changing your mindset first, and that's something that on a personal level I'm getting more and more involved and enthusiastic about. Change your mindset, then change your lifestyle. If you haven't changed your mindset
How do you propose that people change their mindset?
Well, on a personal level, I've started taking classes, training myself in how to mind technology, bluntly.
Yeah. Where do you get that?
I've got into mindfulness. I did a course with Kieran Kaur here in Newry.
I've heard of this person, yes.
Flowsoftly.com is Kieran's business, and I couldn't speak highly enough of Kieran. I've done just recently, this week I took a class in Elysium on mindfulness again.
You're doing this yourself?
Myself. And I just see it as part of the holistic approach to your lifestyle. It's not even though it is my business, it's not just about eating well and going to the gym or doing some physical activity. I think personally, if you haven't got your mindset right, those things will flounder.
You have an expansive mind as well, because you're just back from Vietnam.
In Vietnam, yeah. I went to Vietnam frankly speaking, I went for the experience. I raised some money for Peace Players International as well. It was about 1,500
What's
quid
Peace
for them.
Players International?
They use basketball to bring conflict communities together in places like Northern Ireland, Middle East, anywhere where there's South Africa, anywhere where there's serious conflict between communities. They choose basketball as a neutral sport to bring kids together, play together, and therefore learn about each other and bring communities closer together. So that was a charity I think a lot of.
Yeah.
Although I must say, I picked that charity well before I even started doing business here in Newry, and anything I'm doing now, because I have a couple of things already in the pipeline for this year, it will all be for local charities.
Yes,
here.
of course. Yeah.
I've got one initiative that's not confirmed yet. I would like to do a leprechaun run this year.
A leprechaun run?
As part of the St. Patrick's Day celebrations. That would be in aid of the Hospice, Women's Aid, and Ballyholland Development Association, 3 charities.
Does it offend you that hospice has to be a charity? That the government is asleep on the job?
And I did a Movember thing for them.
Yeah.
£700 or £800 I raised for them as part of that, and got closer and finding out more about the hospice. And I think most people here in the community, I think it's a misconception everything's for the hospice.
Oh yeah.
The hospice needs £3.5 million a year.
And the government gives them 30% of that, for God's sake.
They have a huge fundraising target to reach, so they need all the help they can get.
You see, there is a second thing the hospice needs to do, and the people who support hospice in the wonderful way they do, they need to but they need to bring on an additionality of support, and the additionality has to be writing to their MPs, talking to their politicians, tell government, get the funding, 100% funding from government for hospice. Because I'm fed up seeing headlines in the paper and faces that say, hospice crisis, we need or we're going to go down the tubes. Yeah. We're entitled to that kind of well-being, right to the time we shuttle off this mortal coil.
We are indeed, and everyone is.
Absolutely.
But that's another
day's
discussion.
Yeah, it's another. We're back to Vietnam. You cycled in Vietnam. You obviously didn't take your bike out with you.
No, I didn't.
You got a bike out there.
I had a bike out there. We did it with I did it with another 12 people.
Yeah. Where did you go in Vietnam?
We went from Hanoi. Hanoi. We took a rough circuit.
You're North Vietnam.
Yeah, North Vietnam. The whole thing was in North Vietnam. It's about 500 miles.
Yeah.
We went to Dien Bien, which is a very historical place in Vietnam.
Is Dien Bien the same as Dien Bien? Yes, the pronunciation. But I mean, were you aware that you were in the land of a people who had taken on the Americans and beaten them?
I think, frankly, the French presence was more evident. France were there for a lot longer.
A lot longer than the Yanks.
Were. Yeah. And so Dien Bien was where the critical battle that got rid of the French, basically.
Yeah.
And then we went to Sapa, which is in the mountains of very, very North Vietnam, near China border. And that was where the rich French people went for their holidays.
Wow, yes.
So you can really see the French influence. And then when you're in Hanoi, there's a French Quarter, which is like Paris.
My goodness.
And a remarkable experience. And
what about the people?
I was just going to go say that the thing that you see more, and I know that you will feel the same way. You see people living in a wooden shack, the side of the road, and you're cycling along on your bike, and them and their kids are running out going, hello, smiles on their faces and happy as Larry. And you can't help think they have absolutely nothing in terms of material wealth, nothing. And, they can find a way to seemingly be quite content and be very pleasant to their neighbour. And I think there's something to learn from people like that.
Totally. They live off the land, do they? Rice?
I couldn't even tell you how they live, frankly, because you can see a little postage stamp of a garden in the backyard.
My goodness.
Whatever else they do, I have no idea. But still a very agrarian society. But no, a humbling experience, and something I want to do something like that every year now. Kilimanjaro is this year's equivalent, which again, I'm going to pay for that myself,
of course,
and raise money for the same 3 charities I just
well
discussed.
done, well done.
So that's all good.
It sounds amazing.
But it's a good full life. On the business side, we have an awful lot of exciting things going on at the moment. I took over the management of WellFit directly myself after I got back from Vietnam, which is the best thing I think I've done since we started.
But mind you, it doesn't augur well for pushing the business out to 5 or 6 different locations.
It does very much.
Well, you can't be in 5 or 6 locations.
I think from a pure business point of view, I'm learning the mechanics in that unit in detail.
And then you'll be able to, with hands-on experience, you'll be able to troubleshoot. And
really, from a business strategy point of view now, the whole game is to simplify the operation while maintaining the integrity of it, so that it's able to be repeated. And that's the challenge, because otherwise you do need 5 toms.
You do need 5. Yes, that's what I was thinking about.
You know, you need 5
so you've got it right. You're a healthy fry. No, what's your man's name? The fellow who, the finger-licking good fellow.
KFC.
You're a healthy KFC.
Colonel Saunders.
You've gone beyond Colonel Saunders.
Rowan, you could pass for a bit of a Colonel Saunders as well. When you've got the beard.
When I got the beard, that's the difference. You could pass for many's the thing when I got the beard, I tell you. But your food. I see it. I see the images of it on the social media. You have a huge coterie of support. Yeah, people who love what you're doing.
We do. We've a really good hardcore customer base. Yeah. People that are in multiple times a week. We have some customers in multiple times a day.
Yeah.
It's really pleasing. And the thing we have to do now is to spread the word of what we're doing.
You're doing that awfully well.
And we're doing.
I have to ask you. The stuff is lovely that I see in the images. Do the people eat the greens, or do they leave them?
It varies. It really does. We have our main standard hot main meal menu. There's a side garnish, and it's either all gone or not touched.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do indeed.
You do indeed, yeah.
But I think the one thing I'd like to talk to you about, two actual new things we're doing.
Yes.
We have the meal plan that John Hughes has been on for a long time. And that, thankfully, has really took a big uptick here in the new year, because I think people are looking to change how they eat and want something for the new year, etc. On that, we have a new development. We're working with Damien Rooney, who would be one of Ireland's top MMA fighters.
What's an MMA? What?
Mixed martial arts.
What? Oh, yes, mixed martial arts. Yes.
Which is becoming a bigger and bigger sport. Very professional, very technical sport. A lot of misconceptions about it, but I'm personally a fan of it.
It's not cage fighting, is it?
It's cage fighting, by the old word. But that comes with a whole bunch of baggage.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
So Damien's in camp for his next fight. It's seriously high-level fight. If he gets this, he's a good shot at a world title. And we're doing all of Damien's food for the next 6 weeks going into his fight, and that's a highly tuned athlete's plan. Yeah. So no gluten, no dairy products, lactose, no sugar, no salt, and we have to make it taste good for the man. So what we're planning with that is to develop a athlete's product meal plan. So where we can offer to say for GAA clubs, which would be, I think, locally the biggest number of people at that level, who really have to watch what they eat if they want to compete. And I'm planning to take that to those guys and other serious sports people to look after their nutrition. Not just, there's the paper meal plan, there's the food. So I want to extend the meal plan to another level. And then our other one, which is letting our chefs run wild, because you said the food is great in our place. Yeah. We're having a bistro night at the end of the month.
Sounds good.
So people can bring their own wine to that.
Is wine an acceptable libation in the catalogue of caring?
Of course it is.
It's okay.
And that's where I think there's some even misconceptions about WellFit. We're not about preaching to people what they can and can't do. People are adults. it's about making informed choices. So when we've got our calories, protein, fat and carbohydrates on the menu, that's so people can know what they can eat. So no, by no means is everything on our menu low calorie. It's not about that.
Yeah.
But you can choose, well, this is what, and you can give people an educated choice. And I think in a lot of the cases, people don't actually realize what they're eating on a day-to-day basis. Because we go to a lot of trouble to make our food healthy with the right fats and the right things in it.
The more I hear you talking, and as I see your arms reach out and embrace more, the more I think that our Damien should be talking to you, because I see you having your own television station, and he can offer you that in ways. It's the Vadio system.
Yeah.
I'll have him talk to you, and you see what's there.
Yeah,
get you sitting down for a coffee and see what's possible.
Of course.
You're such an exciting approach to life.
It's a good place to go for a coffee. Anyway, I can recommend him
Absolutely, absolutely.
But it's been a lovely journey so far.
It has been great. It's 2 years now, is it?
Not at all. 6 months.
No, it's not. It's more. That's right. It was last summer.
Yeah,
but it feels as though it's 2 years.
We opened July 1st.
Yeah, it feels as though it's 2 years.
Long,
yeah.
It feels like a heartbeat to me.
Yeah, it is only. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. It's because, Rowan, you get the feeling that you've known me for a longer time.
I do have that feeling. It is true, but I mean, with people, you get people who have a straight look in their eye, and they shake your hand, and the people aren't going to do you any harm, and we're not going to do them any harm.
Yeah.
It's called community.
It is.
And that's what we're about.
And that's actually, when I say about the positive journey with this, is one of the things I've absolutely loved.
Yeah.
I didn't consider myself part of the community properly before I opened Welfare.
How dumb you are
now I do. I'm part of the community now, and I'm very proud and happy to be.
Thank you for coming in. You must come in again.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome all the time.
Always a pleasure.
And we wish you well.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your experiences with us this morning.
Cheers.
Stay with me till we bid the folk farewell. Well, it's been a busy program, and thank you for being with us from all across the world. We've had some of your neighbours from Manhattan in this morning, some of your neighbours from Germany in as well this morning. I hope you enjoyed it all.
Very good.
It's all been good. So here we'll be back again, inshallah, God willing, tomorrow morning, doing something similar all over again. And do try and join us then. But in the meantime, be kind to yourself, be mindful of your own well-being. And when you've done your best and can do no more, remember what our friends across the great river Niger will tell you. Just, lay your head in your hand and leave the rest to the God you believe in. Go well, be happy, take care. All the best. Thank you.
Thanks for all.
Take care.